Hi, we're live. We're here. We're back. Thank you guys for coming back into my stream, my channel here. I know I have not been able to go live for nearly a week now. Work has been completely insane. I couldn't decide what game I wanted to do next. Was it a visual novel? Did I want to do something like Apex or Baldur's Gate? I don't know. But I was like, you know what? I had a crazy week. I'm gonna do another visual novel. Um, it's almost like part of a series. I want to start I kind of want to start a series where I'm doing games that are free on Steam, and then there's like other days where I want to do like games that are rated 3 stars and lower, and we can see why, and I can give my feedback there. But anyway, thank you all for joining. And today we are starting a game called Our Life, which I found on Steam, and it sounded really interesting. I'm going to read the about this real quick. So this game is, let's see, a nostalgic visual novel where you design your own character and grow from childhood to adulthood with the lonely boy next door. Create an experience that's all your own in this near fully customizable choice heavy story. Choice heavy, okay. Sure. Our Life Beginnings and Always is a feel good simulation, as well as a feel better one where painful emotions such as sadness, anger, stress, and worry can all be expressed. Okay. Then met with reassurance, understanding, and support. It's a wholesome experience that faces large stepping stones of life while having a focus on familiar everyday moments. With notable amounts of customization for even tiny details, you can enjoy pleasures as simple as having a preferred type of drink and a neighbor who cares enough to remember what it is. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, so features 4 different periods of life to experience: childhood, adolescence, young adulthood, and fully grown. That's hilarious that they said it like that. Name, appearance, personality, and pronoun: he, she, or they. Customization for your character. Change your character's details however you like as you grow, including transitioning to new pronouns. Shape your personality, feelings, and preferences, then see them reflected in the story as characters remember who you are. One love interest, Cove Holden, whose personality, interests, and appearance will develop in a custom way over the years based on his experiences with you. Decide for yourself how quickly or slowly the relationship with Cove develops by setting a unique dynamic, from love at first sight to last-minute confessions to always being friends and more. A welcoming, sentimental story that can easily be enjoyed over and over using new main character qualities or different connection types with Cove. Font style and size customization: hit the A key to open the screen. So it is 397,000 words, 16 to 24 hours of content in total. Okay. The story: Jamie, last changeable name, has spent the last couple of weeks on a summertime high. At 8 years old, nothing is better than what feels like endless days of schoolless adventures, especially when you live walking distance from the beach. While coming home under a scorching sunset one fine evening, Jamie is approached by a stranger. The man is looking for a kid who can do him a favor, and he's even offering to pay for it. He wants Jamie to please be friends with his only child. Oh God, he's going to pay to be friends? The person is Mr. Holden, Jamie's new neighbor, as well as the father of the odd and oddly named boy Cove. Whether Jamie wants to play along or not, Cove isn't going anywhere. He's present in Jamie's life for far longer than they ever would have guessed. And then the long days of vacation finally come to an end. Summer may not be able to last forever, but Jamie can take comfort in knowing it will come back again someday. Okay. Shall we continue? Let's do this. Let's start this game. Okay. Let's pop this baby open. All right, we want a new file. I wish I could hear the music. I haven't figured out. I don't even think there's a way I can hear the music of the game. Let's see. Welcome to Our Life Beginning and Always. Tutorial time. Sure. What do I do next? Menu? Log? Click? Okay. There are various ways you can customize and interact with the game. This tutorial is an overview of how certain features work. You can read the full tutorial from the main menu to learn about everything in detail. To start off, the game is divided into 4 time periods called steps. Step 1 is childhood, step 2 is adolescence, Step 3 is young adulthood, and step 4 is just adulthood. Our life is further divided into sets of vignettes that take place during specific periods of time. Those are called moments. Moments can be played in any order or skipped entirely. You move on to the next step whenever you want by selecting that summer is ending. Steps 1 through 3 include 5 moments each, and even more can be unlocked by purchasing DLC. Some are out now, and other DLCs will release later on. Gotta love those DLCs. A lot happens over the years that go by, especially in regard to the character you play as. You determine nearly everything about the main character: name, appearance, personality, pronouns, interest, skills, their relationship with major characters, and so on. You can decide to change the details as time goes on, with a few exceptions. Your last name, skin tone, and eye color can't be altered once set. Okay. Much of the MC's basic traits are determined on a character creation screen. As the MC grows up, more options become available on the screen. As mentioned, one of the decisions you'll get to make for your character is selecting a name. You can type in any name you like, or you can pick a preset name. Preset options are called voice names because the name will be voiced aloud by the romantic lead. You'll get to hear him say your name as you play through the story. Only the default name Jamie is included in the base game. Hundreds more can be added by getting a free voice name expansion DLC. Oh, that's cool. The full collection of names is separated out as a DLC because of how large it is. If you're not interested in that feature, you don't need to get it. Each name in the DLC belongs to or was selected by someone who supported this project. Okay, so it's like a Kickstarter or something. On the character creation screen, there's a cute doll you can decorate to get an idea of what your MC looks like with the different traits put together. Not all the things you decide about the MC appear on the doll. The script referencing what you've decided for the MC is the only way those decisions influence the game. Okay. Our life has a first-person perspective, so your character doesn't appear next to other character sprites. You only see the MC as a decorative doll and in special cut-in CG images. The cut-in CGs only appear if certain choices are made. It's possible not to see any during a playthrough. There's also a second type of special MC-based screen, the interest cover screen. Unless you get DLCs, is this a tutorial or just like an explanation? Unless you get DLCs, the game has one love interest, Cove Holden. He grows up with the MC, and the interest cover screen is crucial for determining how that plays out. Interest level sets how much you like him. There are 4 levels: disinterest, fawn, crush, and love. Let me see, are you guys seeing the same? Oh, I see what's happening here. Hold on. What in the world? Let me fix the setting in Steam. I didn't know that was happening. I mean in OBS, hold on one second. How about if I move this here? Okay, I don't want to expand it like that so you guys can see the full screen. Is it moving any? I don't. That's really weird. Hold on, sorry y'all. It doesn't say a screen capture, but should I shrink? Let me shrink the screen a little bit. That's very strange to me. Let me see, our life. Okay. Okay, I have to shrink it here in OBS for y'all. Again, sorry. I don't even know why I did that. Was so strange I did that. Okay, shrink. Oh, now we're trying to play a freaking game here. Okay, I think that'll do it. Okay. There are 4 levels: disinterest, fawn, crush, and love. Love is only available starting in step 3, and if you were at fawn or crush in step 2. Okay. Comfort determines how you generally think when it comes to him. There are 3 levels: nervous, relaxed, and direct. How long is this tutorial? Oh my gosh. Your level of interest and comfort will set the type of dynamic your character has with the love interest. What you did in the past will influence the present, and feelings can change over time. See, I like games like that. Consequential. I want consequential. You get to pick your interest comfort near the beginning of every step. Comfort can switch between the 3 levels as you please. Your interest level can only stay the same or increase. Your current level of interest will become the new lowest option on the screen in the future. For example, if you decide to be fond in step 1, this interest will not be available on the screen in steps 2 and 3, which will make fond the bottom level option for your... Okay. So basically, at some point, you will not be able to friend zone this person, is what I'm kind of getting. Interest level has an impact when it comes to physically interacting with Cove. While growing up, things are rather simple. If you get along with one another and have a close relationship, you can choose to touch him. And Cove will occasionally interact with the MC in lighthearted or comforting ways. But starting at step 3, touching can become more romantic or suggestive if you're at crush or love. To make sure things go nicely with that, there will be an extra choice to determine initiative level, and a bonus mini tutorial that goes along with the choice to explain the feature in more detail. Basically, even if you decide you like Cove, the game won't force you to act on those feelings. You can always choose not to get together with him, choose not to accept, or give romantic gestures. If you do decide to date Cove, though, you can't break up with him later. What? I don't know about that. Interest comfort gets the basics down, but it's the choices that appear throughout the normal game events that decide what actually happens between the MC and Cove. And it isn't only the MC who is impacted by your decisions. Cove grows and changes over the years. How he's treated and what he experiences help shape who he becomes. So basically, they're blaming you if he turns out to be an a-hole. In step 2 and 3, Cove's personality, appearance, and interest will vary based on what happened in the previous step. It's something of a mystery exactly how your decisions end up changing him. You can try to guess as you go along. Or if you prefer, you can also just design your own idea. Cove directly using the Cove Creator option that pops up at the beginning of steps 2 and 3. Making the choices you want is always more important than making a choice because you feel like you have to in order to get a certain result. It's always more important. Yeah, that's the thing I have with like RPGs like this. Because most of the time I want to make decisions that I won't make it in real life. It's almost like when you play The Sims, right? But then I feel like the ethical, is it the ethical move? And I won't feel right even though this is fake and it's a video game or whatever. So I'm just always like, what would I do in this situation? I don't know what I'm gonna do, what direction I'm gonna take for this thing. I'm just gonna feel it out. When a choice does appear, usually you'll see that hovering cursor over an option shows a certain color, yellow, blue, or green. I'm sorry y'all if I get all lispy. I just put my Invisalign back in and sometimes it takes a minute to readjust. The colors aren't related to specific points or effects. They're only there to give a bit of insight on the tone and motion of the choice, since text alone can potentially be read in more than one way. Blue tends to be casual, straightforward, yellow more emotive, reactive, and green less certain, uncommitted. Though there are hundreds of options in our life and not every choice menu falls in line with that pattern. Picking just one color every time doesn't give a gameplay benefit. Only stick to a certain type if that's what you happen to like, otherwise switch between them freely. Always pick yellow, never pick yellow. Pursue romance right from the start, never romance a love interest, be disagreeable or amiable. None of them will lead to a bad ending. Are there no bad endings? You're welcome to enjoy the events and shape the story without reservation. And then if you like, you can play again and try something new. There's only ever more good content to discover. We hope you'll have a nice time with our life. Thank you for playing. All right. Let's create myself, huh? All right, I do kind of have like a round face, chubby, oval, peach, square, I think I got like, do I have like an oval? My face changed my face shape kind of changed over the years. Oval? Not chubby. I'm gonna do oval. Yeah, that tan was pretty much it. Whoa. Wow, Vampirine over there. We're gonna go with tan, the eye shape. Ooh, she looking saucy. Rectangle. Oval one. Okay, sharp. Sharp looks scary. That just looks high. Lidded. That looks too much like a man. Sloped. No. What do you guys think? Round? Rectangle's hilarious to me, actually. I think I'm gonna do rectangle. It's very kind of anime. Alright, eye color. Ooh, my god, these eye colors are scary. Kind of like that blue one. Green. The gray is nice. I don't know why you would do black. I kind of like the gray. The gray's fine. Okay, so last name. How about her name is gonna be like Jamie Peaches? Her name is Jamie Peaches, y'all. Okay. They, she, or he. We do she, her, hers here. Alright, hair. Ooh, yeah. I kind of like that. No. Kind of like that too. Medium 1. Smooth 2. Choppy 2. Oh no, she looks like one of the Doki Doki freaks. Locks. I got my locks here. Oh. Curls, I like that. Curl, flowy, short. Okay, but how are you gonna do locks in the front? Oh, locks are still in the front. Okay, wait, I have to change the hair color closer to mine to really see. That's too red. I like that pink. I was kind of thinking of doing pink next, actually. I like blue. Isn't blue kind of cute? But black's kind of cute too. I wanna do blue. I don't know what the hell that is. I'm gonna do blue. And I don't like that forehead there. Wish they had like better curly options. Braids front, I usually have braids too. I don't know, why isn't it like, I wish the color would change along. Scrappy's fun. Let's do, I think we can change hair later, so I'm not gonna spend all time with the hair. Two-tone, yeah, that's a little rock and roll, I like that. Okay, change page. Birthmark. I have a birthmark on my eye, one of my eyes here. No. Scar, no. Rosy cheeks, sure. Freckles, sure. How about no rosy cheeks? Freckles. Just do little freckles on the nose. Hand size. Chubby, medium, chubby, slender man. These glasses options are hilarious. What about sunglasses? Okay, no glasses. And let's see, scars. Nah, we don't need all that. Pants, yeah, we're gonna wear pants. Shirts, skirts. We want all this. Like, is she wearing them all at the same time? Okay, change page. Alright, done. We're done. Okay. Flip the screen so I can see what's happening, y'all. Summer in Sunset Bird was a special time of year. Your usually sleepy town began to bustle. It was a popular tourist destination with people coming from all over to enjoy the beach, the weather, and the relaxation that came with both. During the summer, your moms didn't like you to wander too far outside of your neighborhood, so you knew the area pretty well. That included the people. Families came and went from Sunset Bird, but they mostly stayed and did what your mom called putting down roots. They built businesses, they got to know each other, and they definitely said hello to the nice young kids who waved when passing their stores. Going for a walk around town mostly meant that the familiar, friendly residents waved or asked how your family was, or most often just said hello. Sounds like a really nice town. Okay. So here are my options. I have options. You didn't really get why they always had to say hi. They say you every day, but you nodded back at them anyway. I can get kind of bitchy like that, actually. You ended up saying hi to a lot of different people. Since most of the tourists that came and went every summer were the same ones, you were too anxious to say hi back to most of the other residents that greeted you, but they all knew you well enough to expect that. I'm gonna go with you were too anxious to say hi back. They still smiled at you anyway, and that made you feel a little more comfortable. But today, there was a man sitting on the curb outside your house. See, I would just pivoted. He was sitting with his head in his hands, his whole body slumped over, and you wondered if he was even a real person or a statue that had magically sprung up from the ground overnight. Like, why would I think that? Am I on drugs or something? Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna make sure you guys get full experience. Let me try to shrink my webcam frame here. I wonder if there's a way you can crop it. 1280. Let me see if I can make it even smaller. That's really tiny beans. But sure, I'm gonna do it for the people here. I'm gonna do it for y'all. Okay, close. That's really tiny. It's live. We can. Where's this box at? I'm gonna move that box for now too. Sorry, we'll get back to it in 1 second. Tolerable? Yeah, let's just, we can hide that for now. Okay. Move me up a little bit. Probably have to move me around the screen all dang day. Alright, is that better? I hope that's better. And, okay. There we go. I'm tiny. I'm tiny beans now. Trying to figure out a way for this thing, and I'll figure it out. I'll shoot to just crop it here. Okay, anyway, back to the game. Oh, he was sitting with, okay, we did that. Whoever or whatever he was, you had never seen him before. One thing about knowing everyone in Sunset Bird was that people who you didn't recognize really stood out. It was rare for tourists to venture into the residential district, as your moms called it. So for you, not knowing who a total stranger was set off a lot of red flags. Your moms had a talk with you and your big sister Lizzie about this type of situation before. Okay, my options. You hadn't exactly been listening at the time. You think it could be okay to talk to new people. Or they mentioned that some people aren't good to talk to, but other types of people can help you even if you don't know them. Or you remember that it's okay to run away if you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to worry about being polite then. That's my problem. That's something I need to work on. Start doing that. But I would have pivoted way before I got to my stoop. You remember that it's okay. You don't have to worry about. They mentioned some people. See, this would be me. You weren't sure about this man yet. Okay, more options still. You felt a bit scared knowing that he was blocking the way to your front door. But you were pretty interested. You wanted to know more about what was going on. Whether he was nice or not, you didn't want to be bothered. Hell yeah, we're picking that. You slowed down as you thought about how you could get around this. There was a split second where your eyes met. That wasn't good. He was probably going to say something now that he'd seen you standing around here. Hey. Hey. You were right. His deep voice called out to you, but you didn't say anything. Unfortunately, the man stood up and started to make his way toward you. Options. Oh, I forgot about the colors you talked about earlier. I should have wrote them down too. Not wanting to seem too approachable, you folded your arms and stared. Still unsure about him, but willing to be friendly, you offered the stranger a smile. Your whole body was frozen in place as he approached. Yeah, I'm gonna be totally standoffish. So, ooh, is that him? That's the dad? I was not expecting that. Do you live around here? What's your name? Why does he sound like that? What? Okay. You look the man up and down, taking in his tan skin and relaxed appearance. Like, okay, wait, I'm 8 years old. Never mind. Like in the game, I'm 8 years old. Oh gosh. I did have celebrity crush. Okay, I'm sorry. You looked the man up and down, taking in his tan skin and relaxed appearance. At least his clothes were relaxed. The way he was acting wasn't. I mean, he looks fine to me. He had sharks on his shorts and a stingray tattoo, and you wondered if he was obsessed with the ocean or something. Like, oh, what's your problem? Obsessed. While you made your assessment, he looked at you expectantly, waiting for an answer to his question. Why would I tell this stranger I live there? I live right there. My name is Jamie. You continue to say nothing. Let's just plead the fifth here. If you do... He rubbed the back of his neck uncomfortably, giving you a small smile. Ooh, he's giving me $20 American bills. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a clean $20 bill. It crinkled in his hand as he held it up to you. It's a weird detail. Even more confused than before, you looked back at him. Well, can you do me a favor? I don't know why I picked this voice for this man. Nothing bad. Sorry, I should have let me start over. He cleared his throat and stood up straighter. From where you were standing, it just made him look creepier. I have a son. His name is Cove, who's about your age. Okay, Cove, that seemed like a strange name for an actual living person to you. You chewed on the inside of your cheek. This guy was definitely obsessed with water. Like, come on, what do you have, ADHD? You thought that was pretty cool. Like his name? I wouldn't think Cove is a strange name. I went to like school with a girl named Afton when I was 5 years old, so Afton's not even strange. I'm just saying. You've never met anyone with that name. Cove's dad. We moved in across the street, see? He gestured toward the house that had been empty for a year, his watch catching the late afternoon sunlight and reflecting off the walls. The gigantic for sale sign was officially gone. You must be Jamie Peaches, right? Ooh, yeah. I met your moms earlier, and they told me you were 8, just like him, so... He shook the $20 bill to bring it back to your attention, a hopeful smile tilting his lips at the corners. Can you try to be friends with the boy? Just give it a chance, and you can keep this. He's a good kid. You'll like him. Like, I don't know. Are they talking to me? I literally can't hear this game audio right now. But I remember that they said that you could hear them say your name, Jamie. Oh, goodness gracious, the playback's gonna be hilarious. Okay. But you gotta keep it a secret too, okay? It wouldn't be friendly to say his dad sent you. Yeah, it's freaking weird. Look at you sweating up there. Alright, you eyed the man. You felt kind of sorry for Cove. Did other kids really get their parents to pay for friendships? I know, it's weird. It's very, very weird. You eyed the man. Okay. Yeah, I would be like, do other kids really get their parents to pay for friendships? It's like weird. Had your mom done that for you and Lizzie? That thought made you frown. What'd you say? Want to make a deal? Okay. This would probably be me. So if it would be me, maybe I should take the money. I mean, the game is basically I have to meet code anyway, so let me just take the money too. You carefully plucked the bill from its outstretched hand, grinning at the thoughts of what you could do with that much cash. So, what I'm thinking I could do with it is all the sweets I could ever want. You could buy a ticket for the newest movie at the cinema. There was a cute stuffed animal you had seen in a store in town. It costs a few dollars to set up a library card. With this, you could pay for yourself instead of having your moms do it. Why does it keep saying your moms? Like it's very, it's giving appropriation. You weren't even sure yet. Me, I would be buying stuffed animals. That was me. Or movies. Or sweets at the bodega. Alright. Too stuffy. It was gonna be able to go home with you. And that was just the start, you thought. The sky was the limit with that kind of amount. The man smiled at you, his eyes crinkling at the sides as he did. Great, that's great. I'll bring him by tomorrow. I wanted him to meet and greet with the neighbors today, but, well, I don't know where he's gotten off to. He laughed when he said that, but with the way his face looked, you thought he actually wanted to cry. If you see him, can you tell him to come on home? He's got a pink cast and glasses. You can't miss it. Alright, I'm asking questions. We're talking now. Can I keep this either way? Sure thing. I can try. Okay. Just gonna say okay. This definitely wasn't the normal way kids made friends. You knew that, but you were still gonna help. The man smiled and reached out to you to pat you on the head, paused before doing so, then pulled his hand away instead. Your moms are already checking around for me. Such a thoughtful group you are. Why does he keep saying your moms? Now I better go look too. Can't put everyone else to work while I keep sitting here. I thought he might come back in. That's not what's important. I have to go. Thanks again, Jamie, so much. Oh. He jogged off down the street without another word. You decided to check the hills behind your house. Ooh, step one, first sight. We made it. The chirping of crickets in the tall grass greeted you, quiet and familiar. From the top of the hill, you could see the ocean. As you walked, you listened to the crash of the waves on the shore and the seagulls squawking as they settled down for the night. You've always loved the ocean. It was so much fun. You loved to hear stories about the sea, about the merfolk and sea serpents you imagined living far beneath the waves. You didn't enjoy the beach all that much, especially the sand, which got absolutely everywhere. I always loved the ocean. It was so much fun. Sometimes Lizzie would join you, the two of you splashing each other in the waves. Those were the best days. You took in a deep breath. You wanted to try to relax and couldn't. You weren't sure what, but something told you that you weren't alone, so you glanced around. Ooh. Ooh. There was a boy sitting on top of one hill, almost completely hidden with the long grass and white flowers surrounding him. His head was buried in his knees, staring ahead by himself. For whatever reason, probably just that he wasn't paying attention, he hadn't noticed you yet. You watched him a minute longer, feeling a little bit like you'd found a deer in the wild, though deer didn't have green hair, wavy eyebrows, huge glasses, pink cast, sad frowns. I'm gonna say, as an 8-year-old, I would say green hair. Excuse me. But this new boy did. You watched as it fluttered softly around his face in the breeze. After a few more seconds, you took a step forward, then another, and then he glanced your way. His aquamarine eyes reflected the light of the moon. You stopped, raising a hand to acknowledge him and show you weren't scared. Damn, that's aggressive. Hey, Space Cadet. Are you lost? Hi. Let's just say hi. Because we all know this is cool. With a start, he jumped to his feet, his hands balling in the fist at his sides. He didn't say anything, just stared at you in a strange way. He'd been crying. There were traces of tears on his cheeks and his knees, soaking the hem of his shorts, and his eyes were still shining with a few more. You'd obviously caught him off guard. His pink calf seemed to glow in the twilight, though, when he caught you staring at it. Sorry, I read through. I just breezed through those commas. He hid his arm behind his back. Something the man earlier had said stuck out to you. Cove? Ah. Eyes wide, he studied you. How'd you know that? You touched the money in your pocket, feeling it crinkle beneath your fingertips. Let's see, we can say, I met your dad. I'm all-knowing, lucky guess. Being a smart-ass as I am. Let's say I'm all-knowing. Oh, damn, he got angry. That's a lie. Tell the truth. Okay, your dad told me who you were. Oh. So, is this your hill? He gestured with his uninjured arm to the patch of grass surrounding you, his face falling at the prospect. I can leave if it is. My options are to say, yep, you can't own a hill. You shook your head. We're gonna still be the smart ass that we are. Is he okay? He's taking this very literal. Why not? Asked Cove. How could you? You just do. I had a hill back home. Oh, okay. Like, Richie Rich. I respond, well, this still isn't mine. Oh, says Cove. He sat back down with a thump, resting his chin on his knees again. Curious about the strange new boy with the odd dad, you sat on the patch of grass next to him. The pure white flowers that covered this hill rocked back and forth gently as the stars twinkled above. The way they dotted the sky made them seem like flowers, too. The night wind was cool as it traveled over the ocean and up the hill, chasing away the heat from the afternoon sun. Alright, my 2 questions. Why are you here? Why'd your family move? Let's ask why he's here, because he went missing. His dad's looking for him. A quiet hiccup escaped Cove as soon as you asked the question. Almost like they never stopped, his tears started up again with a vengeance. My parents, they don't want to live together with me anymore. The tears fell fast and heavy over his flushed cheeks, sticking in his dark lashes. My mom made my dad leave and he took me with him, and now we have a house here and I want to go home. The outburst took you off guard. By the time he was done wailing, Cove's chest was heaving with exhaustion. He sniffled and removed his glasses, wiping at his eyes with the back of his hand before he put them on again. I hate this place. I want my real life back. Very much like Jaden Smith in The Karate Kid. I want my mom. I could say, I'm sorry. Your dad seems kind of nice. You'll like it here. You just have to get used to it. Stop crying. Which one do you think I'm going to do? Click. He slipped his hands underneath his glasses and pressed his fingers against his eyelids. Cove wound himself up for another long crying fit. Stop it. You were tired of seeing him crying so much already. He should learn to toughen up. Babies cried. But from way off in the distance, you heard your parents. Jamie, Cove. Kids, where'd you go? Cove looked at you, tears still clinging to his cheeks. Don't tell them we're here. I don't want to go back to that house. I want to go home. Okay, there's a lot more options. Let's see, you can handle it. You have to go. Don't worry so much. Sorry, I have to. It will be okay. Let's tell him he can handle it. He can handle it. You can handle it. And even if you can't, he's your dad, right? Yeah, he is. Dusting off the grass off your pants, you stood up. So you didn't come here by yourself? Or with a stranger? He's got to take care of you no matter what. Slowly, Cove stood up with you, still looking a little reluctant. His dad's voice ran out again. Cove, can you hear me? He looked toward the sound of his dad's voice, silent, then turned away while rubbing his not bandaged arm. Sorry, I still don't want to go. Okay, you called out yourself. You waited silently with him. You tried to convince him. Okay, let's wait silently with him. He's really upset, you know? Yeah, I get it. You do? Before you could answer, you heard Cove's dad even closer than before. There you are, bud. The trio of parents appeared over the curve of the hill. Instantly, all their eyes landed on you, and they rushed over. Ooh, didn't expect these two. Both of your moms were at your side in a split second, faces filled with worry. Jamie, you're here after all. Mom and Mommy? We had been at the park to check for Cove and then heard what happened earlier when you met the new neighbor. I thought you might have gone all further away. My responses are, no, we were just sitting in the grass. Why is everyone acting like such a big thing? Yeah, they were behind the house. Like, relax. That should be like the first place you check. We're okay, don't worry. Cove didn't want to go home just yet. I said Cove didn't want to go home just yet. Mommy gave Cove a small smile, and then she turned back to you. Thank God you're both fine. Were you two having fun out here? You looked over at Cove, who was wiggling against his dad's tight hug and pushing at his arms. You shrugged. Yes, I like him. Damn, that's fast. No. He's good. I think I'm gonna marry him. You're shrugging. Like, what the hell is all this? This is the part where you could just do romance right out the gate. Out the gate, I guess. He's new here. It was okay, I say. Ooh, look at these two. Finally letting go of his squirming, scowling son, Cove's dad turned to the three of you. Thanks very much for finding him. I really don't know this neighborhood. Good thing Jamie knows this whole area so well. Absolutely. We should be getting home now. It's been a long day for us all. Say goodbye, Cove. Bye. He's just not enthused. The two of them walked off into the darkness, heading toward the neighborhood. You watched Cove's bright pink cast until it disappeared. Tell you what. We'll have a proper playdate tomorrow, okay? Your new friend's dad wanted to bring him by to see you and Lizzie. How's that sound, us, Mommy? Sure, can I show him my stuff? It sounds like words. You nodded, ducking your head down. That's odd, like, who cares? Both of your moms laughed, the sounds overlapping into a warm, familiar chorus. Mommy put her arm around your shoulder. I really don't. Why am I reading that? And led you towards the path. Satisfied, like, they should give them names. They're still people. Satisfied and more than a little ready to go to bed after a long, exciting day, you followed them home. Wait, what? I just met Cove. What are we talking about here? Alright, choose your feelings for Cove. This is how you feel towards Cove for this step. It can change in later steps. It can change in later steps. Okay. Comfort. Direct. I mean, he's okay looking. He had a crush on his 5, right? Fond? I don't really know him that well enough to be fond of him. Indifferent? I mean, I found the boy crying on the hill in the dark. Yeah, we're indifferent right now. I'm sorry. Direct. Nervous indifference. Okay, yes, we're doing that. Early the next morning, you were poking at your... Okay, childish indifference? That sounds like an attack. Early the next morning, you were poking fun... Early the next morning, you were poking at your food, eating it slowly. Your sister Lizzie had run out earlier to go play, but you'd stay put. Today, just like your moms had promised... Oh! Okay, they weren't doing like a cultural appropriation thing. That's why they kept saying your moms. because he had two, or I have two moms. Okay, I got it. I got it. Label. Today, just like your moms had promised, Cove is coming over to hang out. Excited to see your new friend again, Jamie? We're not friends, really. With that said, are you done with your breakfast? Yeah, haha, I don't know, am I? Your bowl was entirely empty, so you nodded. Let's be a smartass again. I can't look at my bowl. You gestured down to the empty dish in front of you, raising your eyebrows dramatically. Okay, we see. Great, good job. Hey, why are you telling me good job for eating my food? He should be here soon. Cleanup began, and then on cue there was a knock. It was hesitant, like the person wasn't sure they were in the right place. Still loud, though. We need to get a more obvious doorbell. I know. Jamie, can you get it? Because Mom said so, you wandered over to the door. Okay, hot dad and his weirdo kid. Hey, Peach's family, thanks for having us. Mr. Holden, as your moms have called him, and his son were here. Cove looked different in the bright lighting of your living room, and when he wasn't crying. With his dad standing in front of him and Mom and Mommy behind you, you and Cove looked at each other. You studied Cove apathetically. This was the parents' plan, not yours. Not seeming any more excited than you were, he just stared back. Okay, so what am I doing here? I'm twisting the threaded bracelet on my wrist, twisting the crystal bead bracelet on your wrist, the flower bead bracelet, or the shell bracelet. Oh, well, we know they like the ocean and shit. I would have a crystal bead bracelet. Do you want to go play in your room, Jamie? Asked Mom. Sure, I respond. I've got some cool stuff. Come look. Okay, said Cove. Let us know if you need anything, you two. Have fun, kids. See you later, son. Play nice. Okay. You led him to your room, puffing out your chest a little bit at the sight of your treasures. I'm not gonna go there. There were lots of stuffed animals, a cool bed, a window to look out. It was a great room. You hadn't had anyone to show it to in a while, but you were really proud of it. He leaned in a little closer to one of your favorite drawings on the wall. I'm making up words. I like this, said Cove. Look how he's happy. Oh, I think he's got a crush on me. Let me see. Me too. I drew that. Thank you. I don't. I'll say me too. Be a little nicer to him. You smiled at him. You were proud of that particular piece of art, and you were glad he noticed it. He turned to look around the room a little more, studying the books on your desk and the pictures on the walls. Okay, so you started to feel a little bit nervous. You felt the atmosphere was kind of awkward. You were glad for the company. You hoped you liked your room. I think the atmosphere is a little bit awkward. You wanted to say something but didn't know what, so you let him keep looking. Then his eyes landed on a tiny box of beach things you'd collected, tucked away by your door. He took a step towards it before hesitating and pointing at it instead. What's that? A hoard of stuff I found on the beach. Do you have any driftwood in here? That's a weird question, right? Dragging the box into the middle of the room, you and Cove plopped down next to it. I do, look. I guess I do. You gestured to a piece at the bottom still covered with specks of sand. Neat, this is a good collection. You got the sense from the tone of his voice that he wasn't just saying it to be nice or to be like Shiloh. He actually meant it. I forgot about Shiloh. Shiloh? He's friends with my older sister, and he's supposed to hang out here this afternoon. Do I have to see him? Why is he acting weird? You don't have to do anything, but he's going to be here. Anyway, I found this gigantic shell here stuck to an even bigger rock. You pulled out seashell after seashell, explaining where you'd gotten each one and holding them up against the light. There were big ones, small ones, pink, purple, and orange. Most of them you washed off in the bathroom sink when you brought them home, cleaning off the sand. Options. Dialogue options. Over the past few years, you'd even learned some of their scientific names. The collection was so huge and varied that you had lots of funny stories to tell for all of them. Your voice faltered a little bit, but you kept going as best you could. That's me right now. You were really proud of your shell collection, and it made you happy that Cove was interested in it too. Apparently fascinated either by the stories or by the shells themselves. Cove what listened with what looked like the full force of his attention. It was a new experience to be at the center of such dedicated focus, even if it was only directed at the shells. Kids, come down to the living room, called Mommy. You could tell the idea was making him unhappy, but Mommy wasn't giving you much of a choice to hang around. Cove hadn't been like this meeting you. You guess it was because he thinks you found each other by accident, not that a parent made it happen. But you did find each other by accident. But Mr. Holden must be right that telling Cove his dad. Mr. Holden must be right that telling Cove his dad was part of that would be a bad idea. I mean, yeah, she took the money. Me, took the money, was offered the friendship, but then I went to the back of the house because he couldn't find it, right? Did I miss it? Did I miss something? Before you knew it, you'd both been escorted downstairs and deposited in the living room, ready for Shiloh's visit. The two of you sat side by side on the floor of your home's entryway. I brought the box of shells. I want to keep looking at them. Great. Okay, be careful. You should have asked. Damn, that's bitchy as hell. I'm not saying that. That's mean. I wouldn't say that. I would say, okay, be careful. I will. You weren't sure if you can trust someone else with your treasures yet, so you stayed next to him while he opened the lid and peered inside. Cove reached in and pulled out a big orange shell. Oh. Like he hadn't spoken out loud yet, he turned to you and held it up, his eyes shining. I think this one is the best of them. Like he is souped. This is my favorite too. I like a different one best. I can show it to you. You can take it. Oh, let's give it to him. We have so many seashells. Cove looked at you in surprise, his eyes going wide. Really? Sure, you like it a lot, right? Uh-huh, but I don't want to take it from you. It's okay. You got the impression he was hesitant to accept something because he didn't know you very well. You insisted. We're gonna insist. No, it's okay for you. You pushed the shell against Cove's chest, willing him to receive the present, but Cove firmly shook his head and kept his arms tightly at his side. You weirdo. The two of you were still sitting on the floor looking through your collection of beach findings when the doorbell finally rang. Cove jumped, startled by the sound. Since the person hadn't knocked, you figured it was probably Shiloh. He knew where to look for that. Lizzie's friend? You nodded, but that didn't seem to make Cove feel better. It was already obvious that Cove didn't hide his feelings well. You could tell he was thinking right away. This isn't a good idea. It's just Shiloh, and where would you even go? He's at our only door, and if you go upstairs, he'll find you. Is Shiloh a dog or something? Cove glanced around the room, his eyes going wide, and finally paused with his gaze locked onto the back of the house. I can go out the window. He was already walking towards it. Scrambling to think of something to say, you stepped forward, then paused. Okay, let's see. Do you want to break your other arm? Shiloh's the least scary person alive. Cheer up, Shiloh's gonna like you. I thought this would kill you at first. Please don't get hurt. I'll come with you. Good idea, let's go. I'm insane. Let's go. Let's run away together. Hurry, they'll see where we're going. He glanced back at you and then nodded. Look at his face. The two of you made your way to the window together. It wasn't much of a distance to clamber out, but by the time you landed gently in the bushes, you looked up to see that Cove was already taking off away from the house. He was fast, but you knew you could outrun him if you had to. He was not that fast. You knew you could outrun him if you had to. He was not that fast, but neither were you. At that speed, you weren't sure if you could go fast enough to reach him. Yeah, I can outrun his ass. I already know. Cove! You ran as fast as your legs would take you, grass whipping around your ankles as you did so. Cautiously, Cove slowed to a halt and looked back at you. Where are you going? I don't know, somewhere else. I just want to see... Jamie! You looked back and saw Shiloh huffing down the hill after you, the backpack he clutched bouncing all along the way. What are you doing? Can I come? He must have seen you leaving out the window and followed behind. Eager. Oh, hi. Are you Cove? Yeah. I'm Shiloh. Okay. Yep. Are we going back or are you going to play outside? Shiloh's eyes moved between you and Cove. That smile remained strong on his face. It got a tiny frown from Cove in response. You were just grateful he hadn't asked you why you had been running away. Inside, we left the box on the floor. My stuff. We need to get it before someone steps on it. Okay, said Shiloh. With Shiloh trailing behind, you and Cove headed back towards the house. The plan for the afternoon, at least as far as you were concerned, was to sit and look at the beach thing some more. You weren't really in the mood to do much of anything else. This is a scallop shell I found last week. I kept it because it looked neat. It's a pretty color, kind of like my cast, said Cove. The beautiful glittering pink did look a little bit like the wrap around his arm. Pink is a nice color, said Shiloh. Okay. Is it your favorite? Not really. What is? Maybe green or blue. It might be yellow. Oh, those are cool. Guess. Okay, remember, dialogue options. I like those colors too. There are better colors. Not sure how to deal with the suddenly more awkward silence. You looked back at your shells. Oh, I didn't even see which one I picked. Ugh. Awesome. Like usual, it didn't take long for Shiloh to get fidgety. Lizzie was his favorite. Without her around, Shiloh didn't seem to know what to do with himself. Hi, Rick the Wavy Ross. Hello, hello. And Cove wasn't like your sister. He wasn't that much like you either. Is Shiloh coming back? Not Shiloh. Is Lizzie coming back? Don't know. Aw. Where'd she go? I think she's at the beach probably. Is she playing at her park? Cove's eyes lit up at the mention of the park, and he looked towards you. There's a park? Yep, but it's old. Can you show me? I want to go. He started getting up before you had even answered, and Shiloh jumped beside him in excitement. Really? You do too, right, Jamie? The park is fun. Let's see. I love it. The park is pretty great. No. The park's pretty great. Let's say that. Yeah, it's right at the beach, so there's lots of fun stuff to do and lots of sand. Ew, I don't like sand like that, though. It has a jungle gym and a bunch of swings. That sounds like it could be cool. So, are we going to find Lizzie? I don't know. I never really wanted to see her. I just want to check the park out. What is his problem? Is like Lizzie a big bully or something? Maybe Lizzie broke his arm. I don't know. Adrift without any direction, Shiloh finally turned to you. Okay. He perked up. Both boys wanted to go. It was only fair. After getting permission from your moms, the three of you were ready to head out. It was a short walk to the park. Lizzie had convinced your moms that it was so short she should always be allowed to walk there by herself. When you found her, she was hanging on the jungle gym, swinging back and forth. Hey, Lizzie. Her face lit up when she saw you, her big brown eyes going wide. Jamie, Shiloh. Hi. She dropped to the ground and landed with a soft thud in the sand. In a split second, Shiloh had abandoned you two and scrambled over to stand by her. You were used to being left out when it was just the three of you, but now Cove was here. You weren't sure if this was an improvement, because look how miserable he looks. Who's that? It's Cove, he's new. I remember. Hi, Cove. You remember because you broke his arm. I'm on it. Welcome to my park. Nobody ever comes to play here, so this is where we get together. She gestured wildly with her arms as if to present the area to the newcomer. Without interrupting Lizzie's speech, Cove whispered in your ear, quiet enough that the others wouldn't overhear. I thought kids couldn't own places like parks or hills. You couldn't help but laugh a tiny bit. Like, he thought that was so funny. Like, he's blushing. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that red face. He's blushing. While Lizzie continued talking, you took the chance to kick off your shoes and wiggle your toes through the warm sand. Nice, huh? In this neighborhood, I'm the one who comes up with the ideas. You are? Yeah, I am. Who else could handle the job? Lizzie is the oldest. By a lot. My mom said you're Jamie's age. Yeah. I'm just like, Okay, we get it. They have two moms. Like, your mom's, like, it could just be one mom saying something. Thought so. I'm still the only one in this group with double digits. What about the other kids? Other kids? There aren't any. We're the only kids here, and Shiloh's just visiting from another place. Like, where, Narnia? Not even tourists really bring their kids here. This is the land of ancients. Be careful that the oldies don't try to steal your youth. Oh. For a second, it looked like he might cry again, because this girl's being really weird. But something in his eyes shifted, and he looked back at Lizzie. What kind of old people? Like moms and dads or grandparents? Grandparents who don't have kids. They hate kids. Just evil. Why? We haven't done anything. Okay, thank you. I'm standing here, you know? Goodness gracious. Only some of them don't like kids. Stop saying stuff like that. You're gonna upset him. Yeah, they're really bad. Should I be a troll with Lizzie? That's my sister, right? Okay, let's see. You went along with her, wriggling your fingers menacingly at Cove because he's so easy. He sniffled, his forehead creasing with worry. Lizzie was staring Cove down, but Cove wasn't even looking at her anymore. He didn't seem to care that she was there. He went into his own head. Shiloh was the next one to speak, completely unaware of the situation. I met Lizzie and Jamie in school. You'll see tons of kids there when summer's over. I don't want to go to a new school. I don't want summer to end. Shiloh looked down to the dirt. He hasn't had much luck striking up conversation with Cove. I like summer vacation a lot too. All the building tension in the air suddenly vanished when Lizzie laughed. At Shiloh's discomfort, at how weird she thought Cove was, at something else entirely you didn't really know, but she laughed, face scrunching up. Welcome to Sunset Bird Cove. Take a seat, put up your feet, and get used to it. I don't even know what that... Ooh, is that what he said? Ooh, that's right. Wow. For the rest of the summer, Cove was always there. You saw him more often than Shiloh, and on some days, when she was in a bad mood or busy, you even saw him more than Lizzie. He became a staple of your everyday life, the way sun and lunch and the beach were. That first summer, you hadn't really been interested in him one way or another. He was just kind of a fact of life, someone you met with because he was there. Of course, that was only the start of things. Ooh. Wait a minute, so what is this now? Shopping? I don't know what these choices are supposed to mean. Shopping, grown up, long day, saying cousin's fire. Oh, I guess like you pick an activity. Alright, tonight we're gonna catch fireflies. At this blunt declaration from your sister, you looked up from your macaroni and cheese dinner. Fireflies were a familiar sight over summer. Oh, who misses fireflies? Like climate change has destroyed fireflies, guys. That's why we don't see them. They are apparently like extinct or something, or close to being extinct. Fireflies were a familiar sight over summer, coming out on warm nights to dance through the sky. Tonight was particularly balmy. You knew there were bound to be a ton of them around. Oh, you are you? You started eating faster. You looked over at your mom's. I'm like, Lizzie? Are they attached at the hip? You push your food around your plate. Yeah, we're going. Because you guys are weirding me out. You rocked lightly from side to side in your seat, already excited for your after-dinner activity. Catching fireflies was a great way to spend a summer evening, and you could already envision the little lightning bugs drifting through the darkened sky. That's a good idea, Lizzie. Can we, Mrs. Peaches? I was wrong for that last name. Shiloh tapped his fork against the table excitedly, his face lighting up as he looked at Lizzie. It was unusual for Shiloh to still be here. Like always, his mom had to bring him over really early in the morning before her job started. But normally she would have picked him up by now. She called before dinner to let your moms know she'd be late. You didn't hear why, probably more work things. You thought maybe getting to hang out with Shiloh for longer is what made Lizzie want to keep running around outside. Staying at home and watching TV was never an option for her with guests over. That's why you were pretty sure she'd get your moms to agree. Well, it's already so dark out there. Lizzie gave Mom the best puppy dog eyes she could, slowly spooning mac and cheese into her mouth while you waited there for her response. Let them go. Nights like this don't happen every day. Your parents exchanged a look. Then Mom eventually sighed and nodded back. Yes. Along with Lizzie's cheers, you threw your arms up in triumph, but waited until you finished chewing to say anything because you knew it was rude to talk with your mouth full. Fine, fine. Just make sure you stay on the hill behind our house with all the poppies, alright? Duh, Mom. That's where most of them are. The idea had only just been planted in your head, but already you could just picture all the glowing lights spread out in front of you, like the fairies from the bedtime stories Mommy read sometimes. All too quickly, it became a race to see who could finish their food first. No choking at the dinner table now, says Mommy. That's right. If someone died, we'd have to cancel the Firefly trip after all. That is a fucking weird joke. These are children. Stop being a weirdo. Mom said it like a joke, a bad one, but you knew that they were both telling you kids to slow down. Shiloh did immediately. When you glanced at Lizzie, you saw her still eating faster than she should. Elizabeth, no one's gonna die, sheesh. A knock on the door interrupted Mom before she could no doubt scold your sister. I'll get it. Your big sister jumped out of her seat and ran over to the door, pulling it open without even looking out the window to see who it was. Dude, I would have got smacked for that. Huh? You shifted in your seat to try and get a glimpse of the unexpected guest. Good evening, Cove. Your mommy had already walked to the door by the time you managed to see past Shiloh's flappy hat. Does he have any other clothes? Cove. Why is he here? Had your parents invited him over? You certainly hadn't heard anything about it. You tried to catch Cove's eye, but he was too busy staring at the ground in front of him. Going back to show a forkful of macaroni into your mouth, you kept one ear on the conversation. Then, for a few seconds, Cove said nothing. He only stood there and looked up at your mommy with a face almost like he was considering turning around and leaving. My dad told me to drop this off because I guess he borrowed it from you. The Cove took a familiar screwdriver from out of his large side pocket, eyes now dropped to the floor. He killed his dad with that screwdriver. I'm sorry, all of these characters are weirding me out, like it's bad vibes. But this is not that type of game, I don't think. We left ours back home when we moved. Great, thanks, bye. Thank you. Here, why don't you come inside for a bit? Lizzie crossed her arms and lifted her chin. Cove shrugged, and Mom stood from the table too. I'm telling you, Liz broke his arm. That girl broke his arm. I'll give your dad a call to let him know you got here all right. Cove shuffled fully inside, eyes remaining on the ground. Mommy closed the door behind him. Hi, Cove. Shiloh gave Cove a friendly smile while waving by hooting up his hand and opening and closing his fingers. So like that. Okay. Cove nodded in response. Alright, Cove, are you going to catch fireflies with us? How does he know? You could come outside with us if you want to. You weren't sure what to say now. Well, so invite him outside. Sensible. From the corner of your eye, you could see Lizzie glaring at you for mentioning the excursion to an outsider. Trying not to meet her gaze, you looked at Cove. Whatever Lizzie thought of him, he wasn't exactly a stranger anymore. We're going to catch fireflies on the hill out back. I want to see them. I've never caught one before. It's too bad he didn't have a chance before now. The fireflies weren't out when he first moved in, and there must not have been anywhere he used to live. We can't go out till after dinner. After she pointed this out, Lizzie walked back to the table and took her seat. There wasn't much left on her plate. She's going to eat like one little macaroni at a time. Since this was very true, you decided to finish up your own stuff as well. Cove stepped closer and eyed what was on the menu for your family's meal. Have you eaten yet? Yeah, my dad and I ate earlier. What did you have? Ooh, eggs. The clipped one-word answer seemed to discourage Shiloh from asking any more questions. Like, he dipped out real quick. His eyes slowly wandered back to the last scraps of food on his plate. Her phone call with Cove's dad must have ended because your mom came back into the room. Cove, your dad said you can stay for a little while if you'd like, but he's going to come get you before it gets too much later. Sure. Alright, I'm seeing if there's an actual stopping point. I think I'm going to go for at least 10 more minutes here, y'all. Because I think, yeah, we can save here. Oh, fun. This will be so nice. As you polished off the meal, you hoped it would be too. The three of you all finished eating shortly after, and Lizzie led the way outside. Remember, don't stray too far. It's fine, Mom. Shiloh trailed so closely after Lizzie. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. Shiloh trailed so closely after Lizzie, he was nearly stepping on her heels. Cove hesitated at the door. Come on, let's go. After a moment, he did. Bye, children. The two of you were a good 10 or 15 feet behind Lizzie and Shiloh by the time you walked outside. You pushed the door shut behind you, watching their figures get farther and farther away. You're so slow, Jamie. We don't have all night. You started to run when you heard Lizzie's voice calling you, but paused when you saw Cove still walking at a relaxed pace. Are you not going to come? You tugged him along, you walked with him, you waved at him to hurry, you ran off. Well, let's go. Hurry up. Let's catch up, I say. Cove stayed silent. He didn't look too excited by the idea, instead dragging his feet along the pavement as he followed you. You were impatient to see the fireflies, so with a shrug of your shoulders, you ran to meet with the others, hopping over the cracks in the pavement as you went, and imagining they were hurdles. Oh, that's pretty. You reached the hill in no time, just behind Lizzie and Shiloh, who were standing on the top, surrounded by bright, winkling lights. What the hell's a winkling light? Winking lights. Winkling is kind of cool, though. There was barely any wind, which made it perfect for the little lightning bugs to be out, exploring the big, wide world. A grin broke across your face as you raced to join them, admiring the fireflies that bobbed around like buoys on a wave in the moonlight. Where's Cove? He's coming. You pointed behind. Sure enough, after a second, Cove rounded the corner, still not in any sort of rush. Wow. Shiloh took a moment to come over and welcome the both of you to the hill. Hi guys, it's really great out, huh? See how many there are? Yeah. A firefly danced through the air, landing on Cove's sea-green head. Shiloh couldn't help but giggle. You and Shiloh couldn't help but giggle. You quietly looked on, you shooed the bug away. I'm gonna quietly look on because it's a peaceful night. You took a couple of steps back slowly, trying not to spook the little bug as you admired how it glowed so brightly against Cove's hair. Cove raised an eyebrow, giving you a confused look, and Shiloh giggled. You gestured to his head, and he reached up, making the firefly dart away. Cove jumped, then followed after the glow. Oh, look, Lizzie has one. That's amazing. Shiloh ran to the highest point of the hill, making sure not to lose his hat or backpack along the way. You hummed as the group divided and conquered, shifting your gaze to the dozens of other fireflies sailing around. The game was on. You had a bandage on your thumb and you tried to be cautious of that. Why is that relevant to the story? You had a bandage on your palm and you tried to be cautious of that. You had 2 bandages on your hand and you tried to be cautious of that. You were good at not getting cuts or scratches, so you weren't too worried about that. Yeah, I'm gonna pick that one because I don't see how any of the other 3 are relevant to the story. Spotting one close by, you approached it with an assassin-like stealth, crouching down to make yourself seem less of a threat. Slowly dragging one foot in front of the other, you crept towards it, arms outstretched. You closed your hands around the little glowing orb, careful not to crush it. The firefly landed on your palm, almost docile, and you stared down at your prize in delight. Its tiny legs tickled your skin, and you giggled at the sensation. Cove kept up with his own target, but when he tried to grab it, his pink cast waved awkwardly through the air, foiling his efforts to clasp his hands around the firefly. Yeah, those things are tricky. I don't know what this was. It ooh. Okay. Cove watched it vanish in the thin air with a dissatisfied expression on his face. You encouraged him to try again, You told him about the firefly you had. You made a joke about what happened. You did your own things. I'm gonna make a joke. If you keep doing that, you're gonna scare away every firefly in the world. They'll go extinct. Well, that's too late for that, Jamie. Cove wrinkled his nose, turning away and walking to a different spot on the hill. He must not have liked your joke very much. You decided to collect more. You decided to sit in the grass and watch. I'm gonna sit in the grass and watch. You quietly took a seat among the flowers. The others were jumping and dashing all about. You saw how many times they succeeded and failed, how Shiloh almost tripped a couple of times. It was a dramatic show. Though around you it was calm, the lights of the stars and fireflies surrounded you peacefully. It was a beautiful night. You laughed quietly to yourself as you watched the others and Shiloh finally manage to catch a firefly between his small hands. His eyes lit up, and when he spread his fingers to take a peek at it, the bug escaped and flew into the air. Oh! You watched as he pounced after it once more, but your eyes soon landed on Cove, who had failed to catch a firefly yet. You cheered him on, you scared him, you waited to see what happened. You wait to see what happens. You watched as he crept up on an unsuspecting bug, so slowly that for a moment you wondered if he was moving at all. Then he raised his hands towards one of the little bobbing balls of light, closing in on it ever so slowly. No! The crafty little critter had escaped his clutches at the last moment, drifting too high for Cove to reach. While Cove returned to hunting fireflies, you settled for laying back against the soft grass, watching the poppies swaying around you and the fireflies hovering against the vast sky. Jamie, Cove, get up here. We're gonna have a race. The shouting caught you off guard. It had been quite a while since you heard from Lizzie or Shiloh. You glanced over to see them both standing on top of the hill again, Lizzie beckoning to you with a quick hand gesture. If she was like that, you knew there wasn't much room for disagreement. Up the incline you went. From the corner of your eye, you saw Cove was coming as well. He didn't care for Lizzie a lot, so you thought he might be intrigued just by the idea of a race. Hi. Hi, Cove. You can't just roll down a hill. You can hurt your arm again. You'll be the referee for the rest of us. As Lizzie pointed this out, Cove froze in place. Oh, it was that kind of race. He frowned down at his calves. That was the second time it got in the way tonight. Oh, he's cutting that thing off. Get the scissors. What? Yeah, you'll watch and see who gets to the bottom first. That's important, got it? I guess. The cast was sturdy. If he was careful, he could have done it. Lizzie might have just been looking for a reason to make someone else the referee, but it was already decided. Okay, so you got into position for the race. I'll stay with Cove. I'm gonna do something else. I'm racing. Hello, competitive. Satisfied with this, Lizzie moved to lay down, and Shiloh did the same. Cove stood slightly to the side to get a better vantage point. It seemed like he was taking his newfound referee duty seriously. Count down! You quickly got into position as well, resting on your side in the grass and tucking your arms close to your chest. 3, 2, 1, go! The three of you took off, letting gravity do the work and rolling at high speed toward the bottom. You squeezed your eyes shut, a delighted laugh leaving you, and consequently allowing a few blades of grass into your mouth. You sputtered, reaching up to wipe them away. It threw off your balance and sent you careening sideways. Oof! Ack! Everyone started too close together because the slight turn made you, then Shiloh, and then Lizzie collide into a heap. You tumbled down the last few feet in the pile. Shiloh's elbow was in your stomach, and you were pretty sure Lizzie's hair was in your mouth, but you had survived. Perhaps it wouldn't have been safe for Cove after all. You could hear him laughing in the distance. When you opened your eyes, you saw the starry sky above, and Cove still on top of the hill, staring down at you three with an amused look on his face. Hey, cool crash. I think Shiloh was the first one at the bottom. That didn't count. We need a redo. She's so intense. Kids, it's time to come in. Now. You sighed, not knowing if it was from the contentment or exasperation, and closed your eyes again. It had gotten late and was beginning to feel just a little bit chilly as you made your way out of the hills, but the cold in the air hadn't dampened anyone's spirits. The four of you walked back home together, side by side, down your neighborhood street, discussing the evening, with each person trying to prove that they were the one who caught the most fireflies. You knew that whoever really did catch the most didn't matter much anyway. All that mattered was that you all had a good time, which, judging by the smiles on everyone's faces, you did. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, so I see what we have to do here. So we have to do all these moments in step one, because there's 3 steps. Or no, I think there's 4 steps. So it's childhood, teenage, young adult, and I think full-on adulthood. So this is a good natural stopping point here. Again, thank you guys for jumping in my stream. Thanks for like sitting with me here, going through this visual novel narrative choice-based game, listening to me talk for the last hour and a half. I will be online at some point tomorrow. I haven't decided on a time, but I will try to decide in the morning and I'll add it to my schedule here. Thank you so much, Rick the Raby Ross, for jumping in that chat and saying hi. Thank you to anybody lurking out there. Thank you so much for the support. Love it, love it. Everything helps. Trying to get my follower goal, which I believe is 105 viewers, something like, or followers, something like that. I'm very tired, if you can't tell. I had a long week at work. I had a long day at work, but this was super fun. I'm gonna play some GTA 5 before bed and just enjoy the rest of my Friday night, and I hope you guys do too. Okay, so thank you so much, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.